All right, so shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I'll start off by saying Barakathon, Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and shout out to the whole elect. Starting with the 144,000. All right, so I ain't bringing a bottle of water right here. But, so Lord willing, the title of this lesson will be the Great Melting Pot. And the lesson comes with inspiration of the Spirit. Like the other apostle from my lesson, and it hit me when he said he was speaking of how Esau, they've been given the power, they've been given the power to basically like they're like gods of the earth in a sense, right? Let's go to the priest that he brought out, and we'll go from there. Micah chapter 2, right? Verse 1 says, "Woe to them that devise iniquity, right, and work evil upon their beds," right? Because this is what Esau does. He wake up thinking evil, he goes to sleep planning evil. Right? It says when the morning is light, they practice it, right? It says because it is in the power of their hand, right? So we can go to the Blue Letter Bible, we go to that word, like elders always say. That's why it's key that you go into the definition of the words, the etymology of these words, right? So this is let's see, book of Micah, chapter 2, right? In verse 1, we go to that word power. It should be Allah, right? Right? It's like I think my phone went to the car. Alright, it's like I did. There we go.
Strong's H410.
Allah. We understand that Allah is the Hebrew word for power. All right, that's why you got Allahayim, Allah, Hebrew word for power, and Ha meaning the yum makes it plural. But right, so it says, they go into that word power that's in Micah chapter 2. They got that, which it says, because it is in the power of their hands. It said God like, mighty one, mighty men of rank, mighty heroes, angels, God, false God, demons, imagination, God, the one true power, the one true God, mighty things, nature, strength, power, right? And when you understand it, right, Esau has been blessed with that power on earth. Esau has been blessed with that power on earth to control the narrative, to control, in a sense, to control the narrative, to control what people think, to control what people know, right? He had been blessed with that. He had been blessed with that. That power to control all those things, right? But he's wicked, So he used it to his advantage to practice iniquity, right? He used it to his advantage to practice evil, right? His evil schemes, his evil plans. He uses power in a way to control and deceive and work a plan against Yahweh Shai, right? Like Yahweh Bashin Yahweh Shai, let's say, right? And we know his whole motive is what? To fight against Yahweh Shai and the angels when they come back. But he uses power, he uses evil power, or he uses power to work evil, as I say, right? That's what we'll title it that, Lord willing, right? Esau uses his power to work evil. And he's been blessed with that in the earth, right? That's why when you go to let's go to Revelation. When I was meditating in spirit, I was going to the NLT, right? We're reading it, both of them, right? But this goes always back to the Roman Empire, right? Matter of fact, the Greeks. Let's go to the establishment of the Greeks, right? When the Edomites came into rulership, and it says like when he came into rulership, right? It says in First Maccabees 1:9, as soon as he got his power, right, in the earth, right, he been blessed. He been given that. He been given that. The facts of the earth is swore. He been given that to control and push. That's why you can't come against Esau on a physical level. You can't come against Esau on no level thinking that you're gonna pull up on him, because that's what he wants you to do. He wants you to stack up on guns, things. So he wants you to try to fight him in that sense. See, Yahweh Shai blessed us with the spirit, spirit of power of Yahweh Shai. So Esau can't do to us. We We're in the covering of Yahweh Shai. They can't touch us, right? But Heavenly Father has gave them the power to rule over this earth, right? Let's read this right quick. It's 1 Maccabees chapter 1. It's going all the way back to when they came into power through the Greeks, right? Verse 9 to Alexander the Great. It says, and after his death, after Alexander the Great, he died, they put all the crowns upon themselves, he divided the land up to what they conquered, right? It says, so that their sons, after many years, all the facts like it. Well, let's start at verse 1. So like, let's get more context in it, right? It says, back chapter 1, right? It says, and it happened after Alexander, the son of Philip. Like it took him only it took him like 12 years to conquer. He did it. His father was trying to do it, but he did it quick, right? It said, and it happened after Alexander, the son of Philip, the Macedonian, who came out of the land of Chetnam and had smitten Darius, king of the Persians and the Medes, right? We understand you had the Babylonians, then you had the Medo-Persian Empire, and when the Greeks came in, that was the establishment of the Edomite Empire. That's when Edomites came into power, right? It says that he reigned in his stead the first over Greece, and made many wars and won many strongholds, and slew the kings of the earth, and went through the ends of the earth and took spoils of many nations, and so much that the earth was quiet before him. Whereupon he was exalted and his heart lifted up. God, right? You know, he came into power. And, I think it's in Daniel. It's like his feet touched not the ground. I mean, that's how swift he was. He was just going through, taking over. He was on that in a sense, right? He says he gathered a mighty strong host and ruled over countries and nations and kings who became tributaries unto him. He says, after these things, he fell sick and perceived that he should die, right? Because he started getting too much. He fulfilled prophecy what he did, so Most High no longer needed him no more. So like I always say, as soon as I get outside, my houses get to wow. It says, wherefore he called his servants, such as were honorable and had been brought up with him from his youth. So he's like his generals or whatnot. You know, that was brought up with him, friends that brought up with him, whatnot, right? He says he parted his kingdom among them while he yet was alive. So like, hey, you get this portion, you get this portion, you get this portion. It says, so Alexander reigned 12 years and then died. His servants bear rule everyone in his place. Right, here's the point again. Right? Let's see, I got some tissue in this. Excuse me right now. For that, right? Okay, so coming back to it, First Maccabees chapter 1 and 9, back to the point. He says after his death, right, they all put crowns upon themselves, so that their sons after them many years, and evils were multiplied in the earth. So as soon as Esau got his power, guess what? He used his power to practice evil. He used his power to push evil. That's why the Most High, go back to Micah chapter 2, right? And we go to the NLT, right? That's why it says woe to them, meaning destruction unto them. Right, because this is all in their mind, to work evil, to have the evil plans, evil matter, which he speaks about in Psalms, right? I'm gonna grab this. I'm gonna grab this real quick and hold this. Back in chapter 2. Let's grab that Psalms real fast. Psalms. Hey, you go to the word Satan. Satan is adverse. He out here pushing he out here pushing iniquity, because how about Shah pushing righteousness? Esau's out here pushing iniquity, sin. That's why he's the physical sons and daughters of Satan, man. That's what he is. He used the power that he's been given to work evil, to take peace on the earth, which we're going to read as well, right? This is Psalms 64, if I'm not mistaken. Right? Psalm 64, I start verse 2, it says, hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity. That's what they are. And the workers of they use their power to create evil, to work evil, to create evil schemes, to create evil plans, right? That's how they were so ahead of us for so long, right? Because in a sense, we was in the blind spot, because we have the Heavenly Father. He was done with us for a minute, right? But the Heavenly Father came back into us. He came back and showed us the way, right? Brought that knowledge, understand back into us, the way of Yahweh, the way of our people back into us, right? Through the Spirit, right? So now we're not ignorant of Satan's devices. We're not ignorant of his deception no more. He can't get us with his evil mindset no more. It's being a forger. Scripture says he forges of lies. right? He can't get us with his power to control. Just because you search up on the internet is everybody gonna go to heaven if they get baptized? It's gonna come up. Yes, if you get, they got the power to control those things. They got the power to control what the eye sees. Right? It says, hiding from the secrets of the wicked, but their insurrection of the workers of iniquity, who whet their tongue like a sword and bring their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words. It says that they may shoot in secret at the perfect. Suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not. They encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune of lying snares, privately saying, they say, who shall see them? That is their whole sin, evil matter. This is all they push, the evil matter. They use their power to push evil and wickedness, right? Because the more he can keep the people caught up in his way, the more he can control the people, right? Because his whole MO is to keep the people away from understanding who they are, right? Because once we come back to who we are, we're going to understand that we're children of Yahweh Shah, and we're going to turn back to our ways, so we're going to get out with Esau, See, right now, that's why I say America is that melting pot. Because Esau, Edom uses deception, his miracles, right? Revelation 16, right? Right, we'll start at verse 10, right? It says, and the fifth angel poured out his vial upon the seat of the beast. Was that beast, right? We know this NATO-EU, right? This vast Roman Empire, right? It says America, right? Babylon. He said his kingdom was full of darkness, the sins, the lying, the blasphemy, right? The evilness, right? The wickedness. He said they yawn not their tongues for pain. He said, and blaspheme the power of heaven, because their pains and their swords, and repent not their deeds, right? This is a big key part of the price right here. Verse 12 says, and the sixth angel poured out his vial upon the river Euphrates, and the water thereof was dried up. It's the key part. We're doing this drying up now, right? It says that the way of the kings of the east might be prepared, right? Because the Most High is gathering these kings of the earth, gathering to the east, where the Middle East, like Jehoshaphat, where World War III is going to go down there. Armageddon, right? What is the army of troops, mountain of troops, right? Where all these going to fight, and how Shah's going to come and ultimately destroy them all, right? Verse 13, right, says, and I saw the three unclean spirits like frogs come out of the mouth of the dragon, right? That's that Roman Empire. He said, not the mouth of the beast. Those three unclean spirits. You got London, UK, the financial headquarters, right? You got Vatican cities, right? That's like the religious headquarters in a sense, right? Where the false prophet dwell, right? The Roman Catholic Church, right? Then you got Washington D.C. or Langley, Virginia, where the Pentagon is, right? The military headquarters of the Roman Empire, right? It says that the kings of the earth, verse 13. It said, I saw the three unclean spirits like frogs come out of the mouth of the dragon, Roman Empire, out of the mouth of the beast, NATO, EU, America, right? Out of the mouth of the false prophet, as I just mentioned, right? The Roman Catholic Church, It says, for they're the spirits of devils working miracles. That's what they do, right? These are powers that use their power to work miracles. But these spirits of devil working these miracles. But these miracles, what? Like it says, which go forth to the kings of the earth, right? And of the whole world to gather them to the battle of the great day of the power Almighty. Because they want to battle against Yahweh Shah and the angels, they come. They want to try to fight for their kingdom, want to try to fight for eternal life. But they're going to be ultimately destroyed, right? What it said in 2 Ezra 13 says they're going to be scared to fight. But the Most High can put the spirit on them to make them fight, But ultimately, but understanding, right, that understanding that this is what Esau been blessed with. He tricked the people by using his miracles and using his things to perform himself as to be a God, which they are like the God. In a sense, they got God-like power on earth. They've been blessed with that, right? But they making it seem like they're the saviors. That makes it seem like they're more than what they is. It's going to say when a man thinks himself to be something, he is nothing. Ultimately, they don't understand that Yahweh Shah has given them that power, right? They're really nothing. They are nothing. They're the basis of man, low. But they've been given the power right now to deceive and trick everybody. It's like, how about I put it? It's like that one guy who really ain't nothing, right? He finally gets some power. You always see it in the movie, right? The guy, he ain't nobody. This thing, he get some power. This thing, he start killing, and everybody looking like, why you doing this? That's what Esau is that. Esau is that bottom guy, that bottom feeder, man. But you're gonna go back to that. I'm gonna read this again, Revelation 16 and 14, right? It says, For they are the spirits of devils working miracles. What they do, they use their power to deceive people by these miracles, man. Right? Because what they do, they in control of what you see and what they know. So they use their miracles, they use their power, their evil power to push the evil schemes, push the evil matter, as we read, right? Through these movies, through these television, right? They keep people in the let's see, I guess the definition of this word. Bear with me. I want to say docile. I can't. Let's see. I can't spell it. Let's see. But they got the people in a low state of mind, in a sense, right? You know, to how the people can trick the confused. They use that power to keep people tricked and confused. I was talking to the word, right? But let's go back here. Let's go to Micah 2, back to Micah 2 and verse 1, right? In NLT, right? But Esau uses his power. He uses God-like power on earth to create these. And now these people looking at him like gods, right? They looking at him like people are looking at him like gods, just because of the power that they have and the things they do. People are looking at him as if they're the savior or something. Like, what I gotta follow his plan. I gotta follow his motive in order for me to have a good life. That's that drunkenness that Esau had the whole earth drunken in. You know, and Yahweh Shem Shah is going to come bring that down, right? Here's Micah 2, right, verse 1 in NLT. It says, "What sorrow awaits you who lie awake at night, think of evil plans," right? It says, "You rise at dawn and hurry to carry them out, simply because you have the power to do so," right? That's what he do, simply because he had the power to do so, and he uses power to work evil, you know. So let's go to Revelation. I want to say chapter 6. Matter of fact, we read these Revelations. We read this Revelation 16, T2 as well. We get straight to the point though. And once again, refer back to, that's why I really had lost my thoughts on typing that word, but that's why America's that melting pot. Because he used his power to deceive and trick the people. We're going to get into it, right? He used his power to deceive and trick the people. And like Ezekiel 37 goes into how Yahweh Shem Shah, he gathered the bones together through the spirit of power, the breath of Yahweh Shah. He breathed breath to them. Just now understand this truth, right? You know, but bringing flesh into the bones, which is knowledge of life, the spirit quickening. But Esau takes the flesh off those bones, right? He takes it off, right? He uses his power, his miracles, his deception. He plucked the bones off the people. He uses his power to create these things around to make people look at everything else but the truth. The truth is like, because it's not normal to be, it's not normal to accept being suffering. It's not normal to accept, not in the world, in the evil place that Esau's created. Just darkness. Remember, he poured out his violence upon the beast, Revelation 16 and 10, right? This kingdom of darkness. See, this kingdom of darkness is not normal to accept suffering. It's not normal to turn back to Yahweh Shem Shah. It ain't normal to go against the norm. It ain't normal for that. Everybody got to fit in and do what's going on in this world. That's the narrative. That's the way that Esau has created, because he got the powers to put it in the people, put it in the minds of those people, right? Goes into Psalm 73 when they saw the prosperity of the wicked. So Esau used his power, his money, his miracles to make people think that this is where we got to live, this is where we supposed to go, right? But Yahweh Shem Shah has set up watchmen, right, to show you the true way you're supposed to go. But as we're gonna get to, in Micah chapter 3, that melting pot, man. That's why this is that melting pot, right? This Revelation 6, right, in verse 4, right? And I read it in KJV first. It says, "And there went out another horse that was red." We're talking about who? Edomites, right? Esau, It said, "And power was given unto him that set their own to take peace from the earth, that they should kill one another. That was given to him a great sword." Let's go to the blue letter Bible. Let's go into that word power in Revelation chapter 6. You know, Esau used his power to create iniquity, man. He used his power to create evilness, right? You know, and what manner rule of the what the manner of the ruler is, same as the people. You know, the people are full of wickedness and evilness because the rules of this world is evil, right? And they're using their powers to deceive everybody, like they treat like everybody got it hooked up to one machine, and what they think and what they go, that's what everybody push. You know, you can tell somebody something, and they're gonna go to Google and search it up, right? Of course, it ain't gonna tell you what it's supposed to apply, because the evil got the power to overwrite righteous judgment. Evil got the power to overwrite what's really supposed to be known, really supposed to be seen. That's why now you see so much of Israelites is cold and this and that, because now the truth is out now. So now Esau has to use his power to what? To make that look like an evil conspiracy, I guess you can say. Make it look like, oh man, look at the people talking, man. Everybody gonna be saved, man. Nobody's above another. Except the whole time these elites, rich as hell, going off, getting riches, feeding out the back of people, right? The Apostle Romans just brought out how this so-called place, this so-called business, whatever it's called, was supposed to be setting up things to where these groups like KKK and all these groups supposed to be getting shut down, but the whole time they've been paying these people to create problems, things so they keep money coming in. Esau used his power to work evil, man, because he's given the power to do that. You know. Revelation 6. Let's go into that word power. Revelation 6 and 4, right? Click the wrong side. Alright, so let's go into that word power.
Strong's G1 Alpha.
So right here, it ain't. I don't know what it's showing right here. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know what it's showing right here. Go to that word power, right? Let's try it again. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know what's to it. Right, we'll read it in the NLT. It says, then another, early 64. Then another horse appeared, a red one. His rider was given a mighty sword, right? And the authority, the power, right? What how should I say? I got the keys. What do those keys represent? Authority, right? Because this authority was given unto Esau, by Yahweh. He gave him that authority, right? You know, the Most High control all this, right? He tell you in Daniel chapter 4, right? Let's see. In Daniel chapter 4, in verse 17, right? He says, and this matters by decree of the watchers, the man of the holy ones, right? So the prophets, right? He says, so the intent, the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and gives to whomsoever he will, and set him up over the basis of men, right? So he set up over the basis of men, which is who? Esau, he set Edomite over this earth. He gave him the authority over this earth, right? It says, then another horse appeared, a red one, right? His rider was given a mighty sword, the authority to take peace from the earth, and there was war and slaughter everywhere. So this is what they use. They use their power to create evil, right? They do things so these wars can be staged and things that like 9/11 is a good example that I always use. They create these illusions. They create the things of the eyes of the people so that when people look at something, right, they only see what Esau put in front of their eyes. Oh, yeah, a plane was hijacked by this and that. It was their fault. You know, that's why you seeing so many people coming out and exposing them, man. Right? I just watched the video earlier. It was some basically like some guys in the army. The medals they got from the army, it was basically like talking to a crowd. It was like giving them back. It was like, man, this medal right here is nothing. I wish I could I hope the people in Iraq can forgive me. I hope people in Afghanistan can forgive me. Right? Because Esau's using his power to create so much evil that the people it's starting to eat people up. You know, the people has been drunken for so long, but now the nations are mad, and the people are mad, right? People are seeing how wicked these leaders are. People are seeing how evil the people that's ruling this place are. They ready. What it say? The earnest expectation of the creatures lie waiting for the sons of power. Right? They're ready for the righteous to become rulership because they see none of the wicked are in rulership. See that Esau his wicked veil is being lifted up. His wicked veil is being discovered, man. The deception, that drunkenness, the people are sobered up. People are realizing what's going on, right? So let's go from there, right, to Micah chapter 2. It's like Micah chapter 3, right? I'm gonna grab it in the parallel Bible as well. Micah chapter 3. Micah chapter 3, starting at verse 1. It says, in KJV first, it says, "And I said, Hear, I pray you, O heads of Jacob, and ye princes of the house of Israel. Is it not for you to know judgment?" Because it's for Israel supposed to know what's going on. Israel's supposed to know judgment, man. What more can I do to my vineyard? Most High gave the things that are pleasing to Yahweh Shai are made known unto us. These things are given unto us. He gave us laws and commandments. He gave us laws and commandments so we can separate good from evil. We can separate these things so we can peep the wickedness. Right? It says, but who hate the good and love the evil, who pluck their skin from off them and their flesh from off their bones. They love these wicked elites. They love these people who sit in these high seats and use their power to create so much wickedness and evil going on. They love those. Jake loved them because Esau worked these miracles. So these people look past it. People get so much money and they look past it, right? It says, who also eat the flesh of my people and flay their skin from off them. This is why America's called the great melting pot, right? Let's search it up. Let's see. Right? So I says America refers to as the great melting pot. It says, yes, the United States is traditionally referred to as a great melting pot, a metaphor dating back to the late 18th, early 20th century, particularly popularized by 1908 plate. It describes a society where immigrants and diverse cultural backgrounds blend together to form a single, unified American identity, melting away distinct customs, man. Right? So you're seeing this. Right? It's the great melting pot. You know, you come here, and Esau got people so deceived. These wicked people have this evil matter, this evil plan, and they use their power to deceive and trick the people. Those miracles deceive and trick the people. That evil matter and New World Order, right? To make people think the American dream, the American lifestyle, and the people leave their customs, leave their ways, and refer, particularly the Israelites, man. You know, you over here, you leave the customs, leave the ways of Yahweh Shai, right? So you can maintain a good life. You can maintain a wealthy life over here in America, because you see the prosperity of the wicked. You see how they living, right? But you don't understand. They use their wickedness to get riches, and people see that. People understand that. As our friends, let me see. It come up. Let's see. See if I can find this video of this female rapper. She came out saying, she was on a video, she was saying, let me see. This is.
Your favorite crust says a lot about you. Right now it's saying, order me, because I'm half off. Also, I can talk.
You know, this
bad news that you saw.
No, that's not the one. Oh, here it is. Here it is. This is exactly it right here.
I want to tell y'all I apologize and I'm sorry for what I'm about to say, but as far as this music stuff, I won't be doing this music stuff anymore. I started this because this was my dream, and I wanted to make sure I could get me and my kids out the hood. It's always been my passion to rap. A while ago, I had signed a contract and I didn't know nothing about the business or this game out here. And just like I'm realizing that I signed my soul. I sold my soul to the devil. I signed myself to the devil. I don't even own myself no more. I sold my soul to the motherfucking devil, and I done prayed. I prayed, and I prayed, and I prayed. It's just like, I don't know if God can get me out of this, and it's just like to the point where I don't even know, like, I can't. I just want to say I'm sorry to my fans. I know y'all love me. I know y'all believe in me, but I can't. I didn't know what I was doing back then, and I lost passion. I don't even believe that. I don't even believe in myself no more because of what I did. I did not know the game was like this, and I'm just ready to go back to school.
Right, you see it, right? You see it, right? So now the people are realizing how this great multiply. And now, hey, the bones are in the flesh are in the pot. How about Shai is the great chef? He's a great chef. He finna cook them up, stir them up. This multiply is America, right? It says, verse 3 again, right? It says, who also eat the flesh of my people and for their skin from off them, right? He says they break their bones and chop them in pieces. As for the pot, and as for the flesh, within the great cauldron. And the great cauldron like a big pot, to where like you watch a movie, them witch pots, they be cooking like basically they be cooking little kids things and stuff in, right? They're like them cartoon witch movies, right? It's that big pot to where this place, everything's going to be destroyed, everything's going to be burnt up in this place. That's the reference to it. The great melting pot, everything's going to be destroyed, right? And brought down, because how about Shai, the ultimate chef? Ezekiel 24 talks about it as well. That great melting pot. Throw the bones, throw the pieces in there, right? Because Esau uses his power to deceive and trick. You see, he used the power that he has to work evil, right? Jake, you want a good life? Yeah, you want a good life? Sign this paper. I'm gonna get you rich. I'm gonna do. And she said she don't know what she's doing, because now what's it doing? It's taking the flesh from out the bones, taking the flesh from out the people, man. Sign them up for destruction. That's why the scriptures tell you, depart from not to rest. The scriptures tell you, don't try to obtain riches in the world. No man can serve two masters. Right? Come on, look. Right? Verse 4. It's exactly what it said. You heard the video, right? It says, then shall they cry unto the Lord Yahweh, but he will not hear them. He will even hide his face from them at that time, as they have behaved themselves ill in their doings. Right? So we go to NLT in verse 1, right? Micah chapter 3. It says, I said, listen, you leaders of Israel, you're supposed to know right from wrong. But you are the very ones who hate good and love evil. So they do. Right? They hate the good and love the evil. They love these people who have the power, man. Right? Because Esau got that godlike power in the earth. Right? And he used that to create so much evil. He used that to create so much iniquity. Right? He know what Jake want. He know Jake want money. He know Jake want cars, clothes. He know Jake want that. What she said, I was trying to get my kids out the hood. Jake don't understand the curses. Right? What it says in Psalm 73, they're not troubled as other people. See, people don't understand that. Right? They're the ungodly, right? It says, but you're the ones who hate the good and love the evil. You skim out people alive and tear the flesh from out their bones. Remember, the Ezekiel 37 tell you how the flesh, the bones come together and the flesh come on through the bones, and life is given to them what? Through the breath and spirit of Yahweh Shai, which is this knowledge, under truth, is wisdom. It's knowledge, truth, wisdom, and understanding, man. But this place, America, turns them away from that through the power that they have. They create all these things. They create all these avenues of entertainment, music. They do all these things to turn you away from that and put you in that pot. You ain't doing nothing but slowly getting stirred up, set up for destruction, man. Right? It says, yes, you eat my people's flesh, strip off their skin, and break their bones. You chop them up like meat cooking for the pot. Then you beg the Lord for help in the times of trouble. Do you really expect him to answer? After all the evil you have done, he won't even look at you. And this is what Jay understand. She crying out now, but she knowing. These people been knowing what's going on, and now people are starting to realize that, man, this man who is in rulership, man, he's evil. He uses his power to work evil. This guy is wicked. They seeing it vividly now. Now they understanding Job 9:24, the earth in the hands of wicked. Now they understand what the prophets, the elders, the teachers, the sincere man, how about seeing outside the GMS with 100% truth. So I'm Elder Pastor on down, man. Been telling you for years. Now they starting to see it. Now they at the point to realize. Then it comes to that realization, you know. And also, like I always mention, you know, seek the Lord while He is near, because the mercy is still here, because the truth is still going out. But it's for you ones who can keep turning your ear from and keep despising, you're gonna see, man, right? That Esau used his power to create pure wickedness, pure evil in the earth, right? That's why it says when the wicked are in rule, there goes that. Proverbs 29:16, right? It says, when the wicked are multiplied, transgression increases. God, because they take the power that they've been given. Once you practice iniquity, you practice it because you got the power to do it. They take it and just automatically run with it and create so much evil wickedness into the earth, man. And the people just accept it, right? You know. But hey, that's what it says, right? But when the wicked are multiplied, transgression increases, but the righteous shall see their fall, man. So we seeing the fall of these people. We seeing the fall of this place. We seeing Esau's power slowly being taken from him, man. We seeing it, right? That's why he pushing this evil matter more and more right now, because he's losing his power to push it. That's why he pushes this evil matter more and more right now, which is that New World Order, this digital system, man. He pushing it heavily right now, because you know he's losing his power, man. You know, Revelation 12:12, you know. But Lord willing, right? With that being said, you know, holy lessons edifying, exalting. You know, Lord willing, we back no lesson soon, right? With that being said, I'd like to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakadash. Double honor to the apostles, elders of Great Millstone, and shout out to the elect, starting with the 144,000. Shalom.